So the Chinese are speaking quite loudly about appreciating their currency. Now, this is important across the globe, and it's very important and very interesting within China because it's very unusual and uncharacteristic of President Xi and the top brass in Beijing to be talking about openly about the merits of appreciating their currency. The yuan, the renminbi, which is traded offshore versus the US dollar, it usually hovers around sort of between 6 and 7. When it gets through 7, they defend it, and it's a very, very tightly held currency pair that they defend very carefully. Now, there's a lot of talk about the purchasing power parity and the economic fundamentals within China being such that the currency is well and truly undervalued. Now, it's hard to argue with this if you look at if you actually do look at the economic fundamentals of the China versus the US, and the purchasing power parity, which is the PPP, which is a one-for-one comparison from one currency to another currency in terms of the purchasing power of that currency globally. It's really interesting to see that this is being talked about. Goldman Sachs even came out and said that they think that it's undervalued by 25%. So it'll be very interesting to see, especially because if you look at the renminbi now, the offshore, it's gone through 7, which means that one US dollar buys you over 7 Chinese yuan or renminbi, which is a psychological level and a defense level. So it's those of you who care about currencies, and quite frankly, this is not just about currencies. This is about the trade balance between them and the US, and this is a critical part of them trying to reduce the tension between them and the US. At the moment, the trade surplus is over $1 trillion US between the US and China, and a lot of that, of course, is to do with the currency, and something that Trump has gone on and on and on about. Not just Trump, but it's just a fact that their weak currency versus the US means that the trade balance is constantly lent in their favor, and they would love to reduce the trade balance and increase the purchasing power of the Chinese overseas, and at the same time reduce the political and trade tensions. So there's a lot at stake here. It's a big game. It's a very important game, and it's fascinating, quite frankly, to be seeing this talked about so openly in China, which is very uncharacteristic of them. So we'll watch this space and watch this currency pair over the coming weeks, months, and years.